Hey loves, it's me, Love Jones. I'm back with another one. Let's just see what we got in the energy real quick, y'all. This video not gonna be very long. Holy Spirit, Archangels, this is channel messages from the energy. That's why I move us. I'm making some more cards this weekend, y'all. Ending system corruption. Hopefully that happens with somebody. Somebody's boss may not like them. Says they hate you. So maybe something your boss did. Your boss may be playing a dirty game. Current boss, ex-boss. So just seeing endings to corruption and boss, and they hate you. Your boss hates you. And they've been playing a whole lot of games behind your back. Your employers, yeah, it's just confirmed it, y'all. Employers in on it. So your boss hates you. Someone is depressed and emotional. These people could be threatening a child. They're experiencing anxiety because they could be getting caught. They've been playing a dirty game. What did I cut the deck on? Blacklisted. And so they could have played a dirty game with your life. Maybe your boss was upset about something. Maybe they seen that you were moving forward from the company. Maybe they were jealous about something. And they decided they were going to play a real dirty game with your life. And they probably did a lot of things to tear you down. I just seen cyberbully, steal inheritance. So yeah, your boss really overstepped their boundaries. Cyberbullying you, stealing from you, having you blacklisted. That means you can't move forward into anything you do. You can't find a job. You can't get a loan. Your pages are being shadow banned. Your boss played a real dirty game with your life because they were jealous of it. They were jealous. And so they went to war with you. Only you wasn't allowed to fight back because you probably didn't even know where it was coming from. They had a whole bunch of people working with them. A lot of people working with them. It says new contracts, business to business, new clients, new recommendations. So they could have picked up some people by doing whatever it was they were doing. This could be you. You could be about to come into some new contracts, new clients. You could be getting some recommendations because of, whatever this is, whatever they did in the background, it's about to end. This corruption is ending. So whatever they were doing in the background to stop you from moving forward in your life, it's going to come to an end and you're going to be able to move forward with these new clients, whoever they are. Business to business relationships. So maybe you have a business that weren't able to get off the ground. Maybe now you'll be able to get whatever business you had off the ground. They see you as a threat. Which is probably why they did whatever it is they did. They seen you as a threat. And instead of just allowing you to be who you are and excelling in life, they work behind the scenes doing everything possible to stop you from excelling in life. They played a real dirty game with you. You know, it's funny because I was just listening to a reading just yesterday when someone was talking about your boss having access to all of your things. Your bank account information, your work login, your social security number, your ID. Your boss will have access to all of that. Me, my past job, I actually lived where I worked. So you can imagine I already used to feel like people were in and out of my house. Could have very well been the people that I work for in and out of my house. Could have been the people that I work for that were watching me all the time. Look. Yes. Investigation. These people could be under investigation now. If this investigation is finally about to end, because we know investigations can last a long time. If it's finally about to end, then there could be something to celebrate about. Yes. Because not only does it say they stole your inheritance and they had you blacklisted, so you could be getting whatever it is that they stole from you back. And considering it was your own boss, that would probably mean you have a lawsuit with that company that you work for as well. Yes. Proverbs 17 verses 4 through 5 says, a wicked man pays attention to hurtful speech, and a deceptive man listens to a malicious tongue. Whoever mocks the poor insults his maker, and whoever rejoices over another's disaster will not go unpunished. And so these people spread a lot of rumors, probably told a lot of lies in order to have you blacklisted, in order to make certain people not deal with you anymore, in order to stop your forward movement. If they seen you have potential to work with certain people, they probably went up out of their way to stop those relationships that you had with those certain people. And so them having you blacklisted could have put you where you may have not had a place to stay, you didn't have a job, you had no income coming in. It says whoever mocks the poor insults his maker. So once you got to that state that they were trying to get you in, where you had nothing, where you could not move forward anymore, where they felt like they stopped everything for you, then they probably went on to laugh at it, make fun of you. That's probably when the cyberbullying started, because now they have a bunch of stuff they could talk about. If they made you homeless, now they get to talk about you sleeping on the corner. If they made you homeless, maybe you were on the corner and you didn't have anywhere to shower. Now they get to talk about the way you smell. If you were hungry, they get to talk about you being hungry and feeding the little poor, the poor people. They get to talk about things like that. They get to make a joke out of it. They got something to laugh at now. Why? Because they seen you as a threat to begin with. They never liked you. They didn't want to see you succeed in whatever it was. They seen something in you that they didn't have in themselves. They could have even felt entitled to whatever it is that you were about to receive. That could have been your inheritance. Somebody could be on drugs, bad attitude. If you're on some type of drugs, that could have given you a bad attitude. I see Aquarius here, and I just seen your employer to end on it again. And so hopefully those employers are being taken care of at this point. Once these things fall into place, you will be able to move forward, which is exactly what they didn't want you to do. I just seen liability. Someone could have invested a lot into destroying you, making sure that you weren't able to move forward. And so if you quit this company, then they wanted to make sure you didn't get a job anywhere else. If they fired you, this was all a part of the plan to make sure they didn't have anything, to make sure they were able to sabotage you properly. And so they could have been watching your bank accounts to make sure you had nothing in it when they fired you. For me, I was staying somewhere for 11 years. They gave me 3 days to vacate. Now, legally, you have more than 3 days to vacate the premises once somebody decides to put you out because it moved beyond the just employer-employee relationship. They became landlords once I moved in, and so I was aware that I actually could take them to court. It could make it be a whole court issue with them giving me the 3 days that they gave me to move. After being there for 11 years, and then y'all give me 3 days to move 11 years worth of accumulation in my apartment. That was spiteful. That was very spiteful. That was some dirty stuff they did to me, and they were so proud to do it. Uh, Stephen, Seth, they were so glad to do it. So proud of what they done. I had already been having issues with the previous boss, Brittany. I see bribe here. Someone could have been bribed to do something. So yeah, when one boss went to another area, it was like they brought another one in, and he immediately started looking for stuff to say something to me about. So much to the point that they went back and he went back like 7 years looking for stuff to write me up about. And my first write-up, he came in, and that's what he was talking about. Well, 7 years ago, this happened. You ain't been here for a year. You haven't been here for a year, so you don't even know you don't even know what occurred back then 7 years ago. You don't know what the discussion was between me and my supervisor 7 years ago. But here it is. You've looked back and found something to write me up about, because it was all in a plan, y'all. It was all in a plan. And so hopefully these people are getting caught up, for you and for me. Hopefully these people are getting caught up. People are seeing them for who they are, the liars that they are. And just know, you'll have a lawsuit with that company. And so whether they would want to actually take it to court, or just speak with you outside of court, that's kind of, I guess that's on y'all at the end of the day. But whatever they've taken from you, you'll be getting back. There could have even been some type of private relationship going on. You did see a family set up. Someone's family could have been involved. Could have been the person you work with family. Yeah. Shelly. No, I had a bunch of bosses, a bunch of supervisors, rather. I don't even like to say the word boss, because I feel like the only boss I have is God. It's the only person, it's the only person that has that type of authority over me when it comes down to people I work for. You can easily just quit, and they no longer have that title over you anymore. In this case, you could quit, and they can try to do everything to ruin your life if they feel like they can do that. if they feel like you've irritated them that much. Um, Probably did that because I was pointing out a lot of things, and it's so funny. I was wondering why no one responded pretty much to me reporting anything, and it would make sense that they didn't respond if it went to the people who were actually responsible for doing it. It would make all the sense in the world that I wouldn't get a valid response. Um, yeah, these people were low down with how they treated you, the way they did things, with the way they invaded your privacy, with the way they exploited you, with the way they neglected your civil rights, with the way that they went out and made sure no one else dealt with you by spreading rumors, telling lies. All because they felt like they could. This is a boss. This is a supervisor for someone. Says they're threatening a child. Well, we know what goes around comes around. So if they're threatening one of your children and they have children, I would think they would probably need to watch out. They would probably need to be careful. Be careful about who they decide to threaten. Because whatever it is they're saying, it may end up being their own. I see sabotage here. Practitioner. Someone could have used a practitioner. They could have been doing black magic. Family. Family could have been involved, y'all. Could have been your family involved in this. See, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, nephews, nieces. They could have been all involved in this. Someone bought a house. Says they hate you. They could have bought a house with your inheritance that was stolen. If anything was supposed to be coming to you in the mail and they got rid of you fast, if you were like me and worked where you also live, if anything was supposed to be coming to you through the mail, they may have had access to change your address, to reroute the mail, or even just to take it before you received it. If they worked with your family and your family had access to anything, your family may have been able to reroute whatever it was that you were supposed to receive. I know at one point while I was working that's one of the first things that I noticed. And if like a lot of my videos would show things that were placed in my mailbox, books, um, something from one of my customers that said lock and key, but it was no lock, it was no key, it was just a sealed envelope that said lock and key. And I felt like that was some type of black magic, some type of energy manipulation that was being done, because why else would you write lock and key on an envelope, seal the envelope, and then put it inside of the mailbox, and then pretend as if you didn't put it inside of the mailbox, like you didn't know what I was talking about, until I made the point to say, do you know that's against the law to go in someone's mailbox? And then all of a sudden they remembered that they done it, and then tried to say they thought they put the key in the lock in it, which made no sense. It made no sense. Yeah, this customer, this particular one, seemed to be very close to the female supervisor I had, Brittany. Keep saying bribed, so some people were definitely bribed to do what it was they were doing. Karma. Just said, what goes around comes around, y'all. It always comes back. It always comes back. Someone made a bad investment into trying to sabotage someone they seen as a threat. But what I was saying as far as the mail is at one point, because I almost forgot what I was talking about. At one point, I was not receiving mail, and I remember thinking, well, what happened to all the mail? It's went from a whole lot of mail coming, even junk mail, to nothing at all coming. I was thinking, I don't even get bills anymore. If you're gonna do something to mess with my mail, at least allow me to get my bills. About a week later, the bills started coming. And I kid you not, I still go over there and I check the mail randomly. And the only thing that I have is bills. That's the only thing that comes now, y'all, is bills. I thought I had the bag that I stuck them in. I literally have a whole stack of just bills, y'all. That's all I get that comes over there now. Just bills. No junk mail or anything. Not long ago, I got this random thing about a house, about the person you dealt with when you were selling a house or when you were purchasing a house. There's some type of lawsuit going on. It was specifically in my name, and I just thought it was funny because I've never had a house. And so maybe a house was part of that inheritance. I also thought it was strange because, I let certain family members of mine use my address. And they had bank accounts. They said they wanted it for one thing, and then I looked around and it was bank information coming to my address from them. And I'm thinking, well, you said you only wanted to use it for this, so why are you putting bank accounts using my address? And it's so funny to me that that particular bank that they were using is not a popular bank up here, but at home where I'm from, it is a popular bank back there. Um, but there are a couple up here, and that's, I guess, the bank that they decided to go with. But not only that, I received the email one day from that same bank, which I've never banked with. So I thought it was strange for me to just receive the email. And the email was regarding somebody using the wrong PIN number too many times. And so that particular bank, that particular bank that I had family members using, actually, I know it was no coincidence that I got an email saying that someone put in the wrong PIN number too many times. And if it wasn't you, then you need to change it. But I have no accounts with them, at least not to my knowledge. So I don't really know what was going on. I have no idea what was going on. All I know is what I know. And so not sure why I said that. Maybe that could have been the case for one of y'all. See a Capricorn right here? Maybe they were bank accounts in your name. You could have had family asking to use your address for that reason. Maybe it was something that they were trying to get away with. Especially if those same family members had other family members closer to them than you were, who they could have used address. Sister, mother, baby mama, girlfriend, mother-in-law, anybody like that whose address they could have used, but they chose to use yours instead. So yeah, I keep saying I hate you. These people could have worked together with their family, with your family, to steal an inheritance and then to sabotage you in the process so that you, I guess, wouldn't be aware that they stole an inheritance or that they were trying to set you up to not receive whatever it was that you were supposed to receive because they felt like you were a threat. I see bribe. Maybe somebody could have bribed, co-workers. I just seen New York. Someone could be from New York. They could have bribed co-workers to do certain things. I know before I finally left my job, I had a lot of chaos going on. As far as a lot of things like being dirty all the time, a lot of doors being open that shouldn't have been open, that had company locks on them, so you know it had to be someone with the company key to be able to unlock the lock that was on that door. Gates being held open, cameras being deliberately tampered with, taken down even at certain point. So all the old footage is gone, and then you only have the new footage from the new cameras. Um, they tried to keep me at one point without any cameras at all on my property once they took them down. So I was just dealing with a lot of issues over there, a lot of issues at my previous job. Fraud. You could have been too, and that's what it could have came down to. Someone was committing fraud in your name. Someone was trying to make sure you didn't receive something that was for you. Someone trying to make you look a certain way to certain people so that you wouldn't be able to move forward in your life. Because again, they were threatened. These people don't like you. If you are an intuitive person like me, that's even more reason they wouldn't like you. Let's say they had some type of ties to Masons. I know not all Masons are the same, but that could have been another reason. If they were, let's say you are spiritual and these are religious people. Now that would even be funny because how are you so religious and you're stealing from someone? You're lying on someone. You're trying to make sure someone doesn't have forward movement in their life. I see family again, sabotage. They were paid to do it. Somebody was paid to do something. They were paid to help sabotage you. I don't know who this was, but somebody was paid to help sabotage you. We already seen bribe. There could have been a lot of bribery going on. In fact, I've seen it several times, so it popped up again. Let me just show it to you because it keeps jumping out to me. This time it jumped out for me. Yeah. I see lawsuit, wealth. Your grandchild is safe. Maybe that's why they're threatening children. They could have, if you have adult children, they could have bribed your adult child to do something. They could have bribed your adult child to do something. I see exploit here. Paid actors all around you. Someone could have left you on red that could have had something to do with this. If you notice that like your relationships with people just stopped all of a sudden, it's because they were probably giving money to stop dealing with you or giving money to do certain things against you, giving money to join the team of these people who were trying to get over on you. And so you have people, I guess, just sabotaging your relationship. People not feeling like your relationship was worth the money that they were given. And so they could have chose to take the money instead of build any relationship with you or continue on the relationship they may have had with you already. Someone could be bipolar. I see laugh now, cry later. And so again, one of the first cards out was the Proverbs. So they could have definitely been spreading rumors and then watching you suffer and laughing behind it. They thought it was funny. They thought it was funny to see you go without. If they made you homeless, they thought it was funny to see you homeless. Especially if you've been doing stuff previously, like a lot of traveling, building a lot of businesses, building relationships with certain people. They didn't like that for you. And so to knock you off your high horse, so to speak, to try to humble you, to try to bring you back down to their level, they decided they were going to do whatever it is they were doing. They stole from you. They caused you to lose a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of people who were in your life, a lot of friends, a lot of family. They may have caused you to be homeless. This was all a part of the plan. I don't know, for whatever reason, I want to say the diabolical plan. To humble you, to bring you down to their level. See, unexpected income. You could be receiving some type of unexpected income from this. Maybe it's from those people. I see Aquarius here again, Burger King, Dairy Queen. Yeah, some probably wanted to be seen in a certain light that they wasn't carrying themselves in. Don't you really dislike those people that pretend to be one thing in your face and then behind closed doors they are not? Not saying that people don't have privacy and they just not going to show certain things in public, but people who pretend to be good people who pretend to look out for other people, people who pretend that they want the best for certain people when behind closed doors they would do stuff to sabotage those people. Behind closed doors, they would be watching you homeless and laughing at it. Behind closed doors, they would know you're hungry and they wouldn't feed you. But in the public, they pretend like they're feeding somebody. When the cameras come on, they will pretend as if they're these good people who look out for the community. Those type of people. I don't know, y'all. Why these people always staring at me? I'm sitting over here in this car and minding my business. I look up and he looking right in my face. He can't even watch where he going from staring over here at me. Yeah, these people show favoritism. He looked like the guy I was showing y'all yesterday, actually. I don't know what nationality they are. It's so funny. It's so funny. I was saying Spanish because I thought that's where he was. And then yesterday, as I was scrolling, all this stuff kept coming up about Venezuelan people. So I don't know. I don't know if they that or if they Spanish. I don't know, y'all. So yeah, I really dislike those type of people. It's just so sad to me that if you don't care, you don't care. It's one thing to live in your truth. You don't care and you express that and people just know you're the type of person that just don't care. But when you pretend as if you're here to protect the community, to have the community's back, when you pretend like that you have a heart for certain things, and then behind closed doors, you are the very person that's causing those certain things. That's so disappointing. It's like you're deliberately trying to make people think you're something that you're not. That's not you just being a private person. That's you are deliberately being fake. It's chaos, confusion spells. somebody could have been doing a lot of chaos, confusion spells around you. If you found yourself being around people or in places where it always seems to be something happening, if you found yourself having to avoid certain situations because it seemed like you're always like getting provoked to respond in a certain way, that's because they were doing these chaos and confusion spells around you. For an example, at one point it felt like it was always some drama around me. Back then, I used to work, and then early in the mornings, I would get up and drive Lyft. And I remember one day in particular, I was driving, and I didn't realize I needed gas until like right in the middle of driving. And I stopped. Evidently, the person in the back seat was watching my gas needle too. So he was like, I don't mind if you stop for gas. He was like, I don't mind if you stop if you want to stop. And so we stopped. And as I was pumping the gas, it's so funny because like random people who would ask me for my name, I used to make up this name. I don't even remember what it was at this point. It wasn't Love, it was something else. Tasha or something like that. We just gonna say it was Tasha. And so I used to tell them that was my name. And it's so funny because I was pumping my gas and this one person, they walked up and I heard them in the background kept saying, we just gonna say Tasha, hey Tasha, hey Tasha. I just looked back eventually because I don't answer to that. I don't even know like where that even came from. So I looked back eventually because they kept saying it. So I was like, who are they talking to? Only to realize that she was talking to me. And so as she came up a little closer, the closer she was approaching me, she was like, isn't that you? Isn't that your name? And I was like, no. Because I don't know this person. Never seen this person before. So I know it's not a name I told them, but it's a name that I tell other people. That's what's crazy about it. And that the lady, she act like she got upset. She was like, you're lying, and said something, some other stuff under her breath. And then as she walked off, she was like, I should have shot you is what I should have did. And I remember thinking, what the hell? Like, you can't be serious. I first of all don't even know. I have no idea who you are. For you to just bring up that name that I've actually told people, not want to give my real name. For you to be calling me that as if you know me and I don't know you at all. Never seen you before. And then when I tell you it's not my name, you tell me I'm lying and you should have shot me because I told you that's not my name. That's chaos, confusion spells. You being inside of a restaurant or a cafe and a fight all of a sudden breaks out. So you go in there again and there's another issue where security has to be brought in. That's chaos, confusion spells. When you find yourself in an area all the time where there seems to be something going on, it's probably that. And so yeah, someone was at it, said they were doing that to you. They were stirring up this drama, trying to keep confusion around you. It says old money, civil rights. I see Aladdin. Yeah, somebody was definitely doing some magic around you. Speaking of somebody being quick to anger, unpredictable, acting out. That's exactly what that lady did that day, y'all, and I ain't know her. from anybody else on the street. And I've never been in that part where I just so happened to stop at ever before. So I literally just pulled off the highway to get gas. I didn't even know where I was. I still couldn't tell you where I was, to be honest. So for her to just come up and have the name that I was actually telling people and then respond in such a way, I was taken back, to say the least. I was flabbergasted. I was shocked. So yeah, people at your job, your supervisor, people working in the community, other people who you were working with, your other employees, your other coworkers were in on it. The people probably who you were dealing with. If they seen, maybe, I don't know, maybe they followed your page or something. Maybe they see what you're doing on your page. They see certain people who you interact with. If they're the type of people who were doing magic or divination, or even going into your personal things, then they would have seen people who you were interacting with. They could have purposely went in and destroyed these relationships and paid people to do certain things, to pay people to act a certain way, and pay people to not deal with you. They could have purposely went in and said certain things to sabotage those relationships. I'm gonna set this one gonna be long. Let me get off here, y'all. So that's what we have here. That's what I pulled up. See, married for citizenship. Somebody could have also got married for money. That's what we have, y'all. Your boss, your current boss, your old boss, they're being found out about. Everything they did to sabotage you. Everything they were watching, everything that they told people. Um, how you were violated. Whether that was through slander, through defamation of your character, whether it was your civil rights being violated, from them treating you a certain way, from them having illegal surveillance, if they were watching you inside of your house, if they were watching you outside of your house, if they were having people follow you around to see where it is you were going, what it was you were doing. This could have been investigated. And someone may have found out the truth. They may have found out the truth, y'all. It says, return to the inner temple. Today I rediscover. I'm about to get off here, y'all. Return to the inner temple. It says, today I rediscover my inner self and sacred silence. This is my inner temple in which I am able to calmly study the lessons life has provided me. Here I regain my sense of tranquility. I retrieve my trust in the universe. Batched in the light of my inner temple, I now remember the value of each and every step of my life. Everything that happens for a reason. After whatever this is said and done, know that you've learned some lessons from this all. And because of everything, you may have a sense of distrust, kind of animosity when it comes down to people and certain things. It says return to your inner self. Try to return to that inner calm, that inner peace that you may have had before, where you trust people, where where you are able to take these lessons that you've learned and apply them moving forward, but at the same time forgiving yourself, forgiving the people around you, so that you can move forward in a positive way, not just you hating certain people, not just you not trusting everybody you come around, because dealing with something like this, it will push you away from people. It makes you not want to be bothered with people, makes you not trust them. You don't feel like you can be around a person because you don't know what it is they may be trying to do. Makes you side-eye everybody that comes around you. Everybody with that weird energy sometimes you may feel. Makes you prejudge people a lot. And you may have not done that before. So right now is a time, if not now, when this is done, to return to that inner peace that you had within yourself. It says today I rediscover my inner self. And so you may have lost yourself in this whole process. You may have done a lot of acting out of character because of certain things that were done, especially if the energy manipulation was done to you as well. They're throwing confusion, chaos spells to your environment, then you can imagine what was being done to you. If they were in and out your house, you can only imagine that their energy would have been left in areas, you would have absorbed that. If they were cameras in your house, there's no telling what they were doing behind those cameras. And so just like everything around you was being manipulated, your energy could have been manipulated as well. And it's time for you to take charge. It's time for you to call your energy back to you and be the person that you were before versus the person that this has made you become. You may have been pushed out of this thriving area into survivor mode. And we all know when you get pushed into survivor mode, that's a certain type of energy you're dealing with. Yeah, you could have been pushed into this fight or flight stage because these are people trying to get you to respond. These are people trying to get you in a certain type of energy. These are people who want to see you in a certain light. They want others to see you in a certain light. They want others to see you in the light of whatever rumors they've spread, whatever gossip they've told. And so yeah, now it's just time for you to call back your energy and be that person that you was. Learn to trust again. Learn to find that inner peace, not let your mind take over and cause you to view the world in a negative way. So that's what I have, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end it. I'll be back.